Nick is fantastic. Nick is here to do day 7 of his advanced UI UX developer course, which is really freaking cool. He is probably the best in the business, and we greatly look forward to everything he's been showing us. We're going to have a lot of those days scheduled in the future. So real quick, if you want, speaking of future days, we've got UI UX for advanced developers day 7, 8, and 9 for this week. And basically, we're doing card style windows, which should be really interesting. Friday is going to be an open FileMaker server Q&A with Jacob Taylor. Bring your FileMaker server questions. Monday will be Execute SQL and FileMaker for Beginners with Calvin. We haven't really covered that in a while, so that'll be interesting. And then Tuesday, we resume our advanced UI UX developer stuff with Nick. If you'd like to support the channel, other than staying and listening through endless looping torture, we would like it if you would buy the FM Training annual subscription bundle. It was 100+ hours of really high energy video training content. Nick talks it, Richard talks it, all that jazz. He covers so many topics. They all cover so many topics. Basically, if you know nothing about FileMaker, but you want to become a developer that can deploy your own projects, get this. This will help a tremendous. People have already bought it. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your support. With that being said, and all the shenanigans, Nick, what are we doing today?
So yes, today we're going to start talking about the card style window, because the card style window, okay, they are part of a new dimension in FileMaker design. Okay, so it opened a new way to conceive the way we use FileMaker. Right, it's it's a game changer. I know it sounds, it sounds completely what's the name? Sounds weird. That it's just a window changed the way we conceive FileMaker, but it really do. Okay, it fixed many of the issues we had in the past. So it was the missing link that we needed in order to get processes and workflows, fluid, right? Before it was a little bit chaotic, and I'm going to explain that one. But first, I'm going to explain what a card style window is, and I'm going to show, and I'm going to explain the other windows, because it's different. It's important to understand the difference between those windows, And at the end, so we have many ways to use that. And at the end, I'm going to use that. But I already done that in the past, this webinar talking about the card style window. But it's good to refresh a little bit. But now I'm going to have 3 days, so I will have more opportunity to go deeper in the explanation. So since we started a little bit late, let's share my screen right quick. So let's quit this, and let's hide this if I can. Okay. So first, what is a card style window? So a card style window it's a real window. So what a window? Well, first, okay, what a window? A window is this. In FileMaker, we can open multiple windows. Okay, we can open multiple window, and we can go to different layouts in the same time, right? So I can go there, and then I can go, So we can have multiple windows, and so multiple windows. Which windows can display only one layout? So that is important. You cannot split a window and show multiple layouts. You can just display one layout per window. So that's a window, and you have only one layout, right? So that means when you open a window, you can potentially have a window pointing to its dedicated context. Each layout is connected to a table of occurrence. Here I'm in T05. Here I am in T01, right? So I have 2 windows. one goes to the T05, another one goes to the T01. So that means, right, when I interact with this table, right, I will be in T05. So if I create a new record, I'm creating a new record in T05, right? So one window, one layout, one context. When we are in the context of T05, everything that belongs to T05, all the relationship. So I'm here. This is where this window lands. This window lands in T05 context. So I have access from that window. I will have access to all this relationship. Okay. So from there, from T05, I have access to these relationships. So, and that is important to understand, especially to understand the construction of how FileMaker works and how today we teach people to use FileMaker. One window, one layout, one context, right? So, and because we do that, one layout, one window, displaying one layout in a context, right? That means we have one anchor buoy. So we point to this. So the anchor buoy relationship is key to in that construction. It is a construction. It is a way to construct. As I said, when I'm teaching people, when I'm saying this, you don't build a house like you build a building, like a two-story house. It's not the same process as building a 100-story building. It's not, a skyscraper. It's not the same technique. It's not the same material. It's not. Here we're learning building, 15-story building, okay? But definitely not two-story building. We're not in the two-story building. We are in the 15, but it's this anchor buoy technique on the relationship works fine when you want to build a 100-story building, right? So it's the same. Starting more than 2-3-story building, you need to use anchor buoy, okay? Because of this, one window, one layout, one context. I mean, context means one anchor and multiple buoys behind them. Okay. So, and this is the key to understand the potential of Kafka windows. Okay. Because it's a huge potential. When you understand, when you connect the dots between the context, I mean, what we call context is this, okay? Is this. This is the context, this is the context, this is the context, right? In the relationship, okay? For the relationship map, in the map, this is the occurrence. When you use FileMaker, so when you click OK, that means now it is no longer an occurrence, it's a context, okay? So this is how you should think the process here. When you hear, you manipulate occurrence, new occurrence, okay? New occurrence. So I know, it's confusing because FileMaker itself, Claris, whatever, Claris play with that along the years, changing terminology and not knowing how to do with this and stuff like that. So, but those are tables, and I can create multiple occurrence with the same table. Okay? Multiple occurrence that potentially will become a context. This now is a context because it's more than an occurrence. You understand? So this object is an occurrence. Using this becomes a context. So I hope I've been clear enough because I want to use the terminology that suits well what I want to say. So when you connect the dot between the windows, the layouts, the context, right? You know why Ankobu is great, because it's 1, 1, 1, 1. So what is a card style window? First, we have learned what a window is. You know, a window is another window like this, you know? It's another area where you display something. It's a window. We know these concepts in 1984. And we have some even people on the other side of the force that name their product like this, a window. So now we have, in FileMaker, we have multiple different style, you know, that's why we say style, okay? So let's explore them. First, we have the new window. So we have the new window script step. This is how you can define different style. Here, you have only one style. When you go here and you say new window, you have only one style. It's what we call the document window. That's the only style you have. When you do new window, or if you do new window like this, it's a document. So what is a document window? So if I click here, I said new document window. I have a new document window. A document window is a regular window. I can go to another window. I can go switch like this. I can minimize. I can maximize. I can close. I can move. It's a document window. Now we have another style that names floating window. This is great when you want to display a report, for example, on the screen, right? Because it has a very specific behavior. When you create a new window out of this, right? With floating window, you cannot go. You can activate the window on the background. You can see it's activated. This is deactivated, but still in front of. It will always be in front. Even if I'm going there and I'm saying new window, it will always be in front. See, I create new window. This one remains in front. That's why it's great when you want to do a report. When you want to display a report, it's great. Because, you know, when you go there and you say you want to display, or I don't know if I have a report here list. I don't know. Where is the report stuff? We should have the report. I don't know where the layout are, but you know, it's good to have a report, you know, like bug reporting. I don't know. You have a report and you put under, you know, you put that under preview mode and you have a floating window. So that means this is always on top. So the floating window, even if you create new window, it will never go behind. Never. See, is always front. That's great. That's great for that application. But you can minimize, maximize, but always on top, always. And of course, you can close it. Right. Okay. So let's close all the windows. So now we have another style named dialog. So that was a response in the late 1990s from FileMaker Inc, Claris, whatever. They create this, right? So you can create a new window. It's a new window, right? But always be in front, but you cannot go on the other one. You cannot leave that window. You see, if I click on this one here, you cannot hear it because I have the headset, but it's beeping. It's blocking. You cannot go. See, I'm there, but I cannot. I can't. So that is a great way to do like a small dialogue like this, right? Because you cannot go until you close it. You cannot. See, I can go. I can't, right? And I cannot create a new window. I'm stuck. It's a dialogue. Pretty much has the same behavior as this, like this one. It's the same as this. You cannot close, you cannot go, you can move it, you can move this. Of course, we can go away from FileMaker, but this will always be on top, and you can click until you close it, right? But the dialogue here is not customable. Okay, we cannot do a custom dialogue. So to do a custom dialogue, you use a window to make a dialogue, for example, like this, you know. So you create this, you know, let's say you want a dialogue. So you say, okay, this is a dialogue, dialogue one, okay. This is dialogue one, you open it, it's a layout, okay. And it's a real layout. So you have access to, you know, it's like a regular layout, right? You can make it smaller, right? You remove this, and you can do this. So you have a button here that says okay, and you can do this action button. You can do like this, and I don't know, do like this, centered, and okay, do like this. So you have a OK button, right? And you can have a cancel button, right? And I don't know, you can have a text. Do you want a coffee, for example? Yeah. Do you want a coffee? And I don't know, you can. Do you want a coffee? Like this, and so you have your own. You say yes, okay, and so you can make it bigger, and you can add, I don't know, a field if you want. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. You know, it's up to you what you want to do, right? So you have, let's say this and this. You can say, you know, close window, and so you have a dialogue, you have buttons. So you have buttons, you have scripts, you have text, you have fields, right? And you can say, okay, you can say, oh, should I have closed this one? And you can say, for example, that this script here, it's a new window, style dialog, pointing to the dialog one layout, right? Okay. And then you have, you know, multiple ways to position this, okay? Because you need to take care of the position of the dialog. Otherwise, you do this. So you here, and you say you want to play this, and you have something like this. It doesn't look like a dialogue at all, okay? So what you need to do, my favorite way, right? So it's to, I have the width of this, right? I have the width, and I have the 247. So this will be the default, right? So if I play it, you know, I have a better thing, but still not perfect, right? Because you need to, you know, you cannot resize, you cannot minimize. Normally you cannot close, but I want to show you something here. So let's take care of that. We hide the toolbar, we hide the menu bar, we hide everything. So now if I play it, it looks like more dialogue, right? Okay. Yeah, I should have done a little bit more here. So I increased by 10 each dimension, and I'm good. It's because of the toolbar. I will show you. So I have this now, right? It looks like better. It looks like a layout more, right? It looks like a dialogue, sorry. Okay. So, no, let's center this. So, yeah, so let's move this here, sorry. So now it looks like more dialogue. So if I open this, it looks like a dialogue. So to get this, okay, to get this, right, you size it a little bit larger, right, a little bit, and, right, like this. You position your buttons, but you make it extendable, you know, using this, the anchor point like this. This is on the bottom right corner. This is center, and this is on the top left corner. Okay, so you then if you know, because depending, you know, you can do this, right? But here I said I don't want to resize. So if you said you cannot resize, if you here, you cannot resize. You cannot resize, okay? So now you need to be careful with the close button. Very dangerous. Because if you like this, okay? If you like this, and you play with it, and if you have no button that closes the window, you're stuck. You have to force quit. The only way is to force quit. Or be smart, and I have here, you know, even though here you cannot close the window. So you're stuck. Here, if you don't have the yes button that close, you're stuck. Be careful with this. Make sure you have on the layout a close button. Okay. So this is a dialogue. So to position from the top, you know, it's something a little bit weird. You need to get the window content 8, right? The window content 8 minus the 247 divided by 2. I think is this. No, I don't remember. I didn't do that for a long time. Get content width. So that is the minus 247. I don't remember. Something like this. I don't because I don't use that. Okay, let's not waste the time on this. So you understand the positioning of the window is, you know, or you can do like this, 200 and 200. So you position. So what you do, so no, you get another way easier to get the window top minus 100, and you get the window left minus 100. So what is doing? is taking the top of that window. It will withdraw 100 and position the window 100 below, and will take the position of that window on the left and put 100. So that will do like this. It's better than nothing. Why isn't this? Get windows top, get window top, minus, oh, plus, sorry, plus, no minus, plus, sorry. Okay. So now you have something like this. Boom. It's better. You position the window a little bit more centered. I don't remember the calculation to center the window. It's years that I'm not using that. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. Now, we have another style that solves all the problems. Okay? All this BS, go away. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. No, nothing, nada. Okay? And that the Casta window. Boom. So what the Casta window do for you? Everything. And I'm proud that I'm part of inventing that. You know that, and that is not what's the name? You guys, if you meet Robert Halsey, ask him that if you have the possibility to choose a layout in a new window, script step is thanks to me. I fought hard for that, hard, right? And I got it. So I'm proud of this because that's me. Not really, it's true. When I was there, I got that because it changed everything. Okay, and the most advanced people that watching this understand the reason why. So let's say Casta, and the Casta window, I was part of it too, right? So the position, you see here it says PT. It's a PT. Right? But here it says 247, 432. Where this is coming from? It's coming from this. It's coming from where's my dialogue? It's coming from that this is the size of my layouts. Interesting. So by default, FileMaker we said, yeah, it's 247, 432, but you can increase it if you want, but by default, it will be this. So that, I like it. It's doing everything for me. So what the difference will do? It will do this. Boom. That's the difference. It's centered. Why I cannot hide this? It's centered automatically. It's sized automatically. It has the same behavior as a dialogue. That means I cannot get out of this unless I say, okay, right. And the advantage, let's say I have two windows here. Let's say here I am in contact. Okay. And here I'm in accounts. I'm from here and I'm launching this from here. Boom. Now I'm from here and I'm launching this from here. Boom. So the window is inside another window, is attached to a window. So this dialog is part of that window. That dialog is part of that window, right? But there's something now. Okay, so before I go too far, you see it positions itself automatically, right? Yes, I can change the behavior. I can say 350 and 600. I can increase it, right? So I can make it bigger. So now you understand it's bigger. So now you can do even better. You can make it proportionally from the window, for example. I said, I want to get window content 8 minus 200. And I said here, the get window content width minus 100. What I said 200? Yeah, minus 200. So what it's going to do now is going to take the size of the window and take the size of that window. The content is this. This is the content from that 0.0 to the bottom of here. This is the content. It won't take into account this, or it won't take into account this. Okay? It will take into account only the contents. Okay, the content is the get window content width and height is the content of the window where you display the layout. It's the layout size, pretty much. Okay. So now if I run that script, boom, it sized the window, you know. So if you want to see, if you want to square it a little bit more, you know, you just said the width 400. Right? So you get something like this. Boom. It's more squared. If I increase the window size, of course, this will increase. Because I said, take the window and withdraw. Take the window size and withdraw. So, but it's always centered. Of course, you can move it. Say, yeah, but no. So for example, here we have a great example in that file, not that file, FMSP, starting point. We have this. This is a card style. How it works? It's a card style window. Okay. So here we have two things that I can explain. So how it works? How can I make this to work like this? To appear the full height of the window on the left, you know, completely left. It's very simple. First of all, top position 0, right? And left position 0. So that we position the window, you know, yeah, position. That will position the window like this. Boom. 0 on the top, 0 on the left. Boom. Okay. Now, just what I need to do, right? So let's close this. Just what I need to do, right, is to say, I want the 8. I want the 8 to be the content of the window. And the width, I don't know, 500. Right. So what will happen? This. Boom. So the window now is glued on the left, is glued on the top, and it takes always the 8th of the current window. So it looks attached like this, right? It looks like this. Boom. Right? Boom. Now we have some options here. So now you understand how you can position the window. We can have, you know, how you size it. You know that by default you have the size of the layout. So doing nothing is by default is coming. If I remove all this, you know, I remove all this, it come back to the center. Boom. Of the size of the. So you understand that this do great dialogues. So we don't need to use, that's why, the dialogue, this, to be honest with you, this one, I never use it. Never, because it doesn't make any sense anymore. So, I mean, that's my opinion. You can still use it, right? But why wasting time and positioning the window and stuff like that when you have somebody that do it for you? So we have option, the dim parent windows. That's cool because that do this. Boom. So it dim everything else in the window, and it's to make the dialogue to stand out. So that looks a real dialogue. And I cannot go, just what I can do here is just, say yes or cancel, whatever. And we have an option, close, okay. Pause, close, that do this, that what will add a close kind of button here automatically. So you can have this close, okay. This is, if you remove this, you don't have it. But be careful because you can get stuck without, if you don't have a close button, you're stuck. But that's why we have always, because the advantage between the dialogue and this one is this, you still have access to this. The dialogue, no. The dialogue, you have no access to those. The dialogue, if you do this, you have no access to this. I mean, to this, the script menu. You don't have access. With this, you have. So you have a security because with this, you can say close window. So you can have a script that save you, but if you stuck yourself, and it happened to me too, so it will happen to you, don't worry. So you can close the window, boom. So you have a script that says close window. The close window will close the window. Right? So that is butt saver. And you can launch things when you want to debug and stuff like that. So it's good. So do we have any question about the Carl style window?
We do. We've got two. I always have to play with the dimensions to prevent scroll bars. How do you determine the correct size to use?
I always increase a little bit. First of all, I have a standard size dialogue. Okay, so all the dialogue I'm building, they all have the same. And why I'm doing this is because I pretty much duplicate the same layout. I duplicate, etc. So, for example, I have, I'm always sizing like this, 300, okay, and 450. So that for my dialogues, when I have things to display, when I have fields and when I have big things with yes, okay, cancel, close, whatever. When I have interaction, this is the minimum size. Now you have another type of dialogue, right? And that are just info, no dialogue, no button, just a text saying, processing, be patient. Okay, so you can have a dialogue like this, and those 180, by 450. So those are my splash screen, we call that splash screen. Okay, so now that I have those, I have two. So the splash screen, so I have two. I have the dialog 1, dialog 2, right? So the dialog 2, and you will see the advantage is this. The script, the window will position itself, right? Look, if I play with this, boom, centered and no, what's the name? No scroll bars, because it's doing, it's doing automatically. Like I told you, if you don't touch this, so you size correctly your layout and you don't have to take care of the size. Of course, with the cast-style window, the advantage is this. If you say the FileMaker tells you, hey, the height of your layout is 180. So if you say 150, you will get the scroll. Of course, because you say smaller, right? So just size it and voila. No scroll. So that's why I have two styles, right? The first style is this one, and the other style is this one. So you have a bigger with buttons, small splash screen like this. I personally use for that the dim parents, for that no. Because that's a splash screen. That's something that with flash, chick, plum, flash goes, flash go. That's something that we'll do like this. We'll do like this. This, pause, like, I don't know, 2 seconds, and close. Right? So that we'll do like this. So let's close this. It will do like this. Go, boom, and bye. So you don't want, if you do this, it will be way too intrusive. Way too intrusive. No need of this. But if you do this, it is useful. If you're there and you say boom, bam, that a dialogue, you ask something, you want the people to concentrate, something happened, something is different. We're waiting for you, right? The other one, I'm showing something. Or if you don't see it, it's not important. But if you don't see that, you don't care, But here you need to care. So the dimming is useful. It's something that add to the process, it add to the workflow, right? It helps the user to understand what's going on. So alt, something different, right? So very important. So now you understand that, we used to have a way to dismiss those windows, splash, whatever, those dialogues with the escape key, right? So we used to have something, we escape key to, but, it's not working. It's like this. We want something like this, no, here. Okay, we want something like this. Escape. This is the cast-style window, by the way. We're going to explain that tomorrow, right? But we have the close button. That is my close button. I want my own because I don't want the default FileMaker because, I prefer my own on the right side. And I don't like it on the left side. This is my preference. You can use the FileMaker if you want. You can position your close button where you want, but it makes more sense to be on the right. But I have the escape. open, escape, open, escape. And no, it is not a custom menu. Okay. Custom menu is too big for that. It's too, no, we don't need that. Okay. Because here, the close window won't work. The close window close here is deactivated. That close window. For many reasons. Because this close window belongs to that window. And you cannot close, and that is important. You cannot close the main window until this window is closed. And that's great when you want to do something like, a quitting message. Oh, are you sure you want to quit? Right? You do like this because you cannot close this until this one's closed. So if I close this one, then now the close works, right? So that's great. You can use that on your advantage. The close window here is deactivated because the close window belongs to the window physically. This one is a window, but it's a card style. It's not a regular window. Okay. But how we can escape that? That's very simple, in my opinion. I'm using this technique here. So we have a script, right? Keystroke. Oops. Oh, I mean layout. Stupid me. So we have a keystroke, a keystroke, on keystroke, keystroke. And this is a script you can reuse and use and abuse in every single of your layouts that you want to dismiss with the escape. You can use that that script. So how you do that? So you go. So how I can add a close functionality with escape key on my dialog. Okay, my dialog. On dialog 1, going there, and I said on layout keystroke. And I'm going to use that layout, that script, the 42A. And that's it. I don't need to do anything. On the on layout keystroke. So what happened then? What happened? So let's say going to my script, this one, right? And I'm going to open the window like this. Boom. Now I have an escape capability. See, open. My mouse is here, and I'm pressing escape. Boom, close. So how it works? FileMaker has, computers, they use the keystroke. We can hijack the keystroke. So let's do this. When I open the window, when I open this, and I'm going to strike a key on my keyboard, space. This is the code of the space, 32. What about the A? The A is 97. That the code, that the ASCII code, And this, the get trigger keystroke. So you can hijack the keystroke. You can hijack what you struck on the keyboard only during or on keystroke, whatever script step, trigger. Could be on object keystroke, on layout keystroke, but you need to be on something keystroke in order to get that function to work. When you get that function to work, you get the keystroke, the code, you get the keystroke. So you get the keystroke, because this return keystroke return whatever it is. Get trigger keystroke, right? Let's debug it. Yeah, let's debug it. I press this. Now I go to my data viewer, and here I'm using this get because my script is running. So now, because my script is running on layout keystroke, I have access to the get keystroke stuff. The get keystroke, okay? Well, it's D. I press D. I press the letter D. But if I use the code, what's the name? Function, and I use the code on top of that function, oh, it's 100. So now I have a code. So what will be the code for the escape key? Right? It's 27. And that is valid on every single computer in the universe. Okay? So if you know another universe, maybe it will be different. But on this universe, 27 is escape key on all computer, and whatever the keyboard is, whatever the language you see. You know. So being said, we can play with this. So first, we can use it to say, with 27, right? So if the code is 27, close the window. If it's not, forget about it. That's it. So he said, okay, so let's deactivate this. This is for debug purposes. So I have the code here. Okay. So if the code of the trigger is 27, that means escape key, close the window. So let's see if that works. I'm here and I'm pressing the escape. Go, close, alt. Alt to make sure that when you use alt at the end of a script, you're sure that you will never land on a field or something like this. It will stop this. It will halt everything. It will boom. Wait, where it is. Right? So what happened if? So what happened? I can use that. What happened if I don't stroke? I stroke space bar. You do like this. Oh, with a space bar, I have something here. So let's use my example for the dialogue. This one. So what happened if I I press K? It is not 27, so it will go away. Right? It will just tell you no. So this is how you hijack this. So do we have any question for that?
I don't know. I don't think for that specifically, but we have kind of like a general question.
Yes.
Why do we need the window name of the card style window for script?
Okay, yeah, okay. So that is important because, I mean, when you have very complex interaction, I can see the benefits on the card style window. Is this when you have multiple card style window, okay? So you can say go to the window, okay? So let's say I have two card style window. Window one, okay? And I duplicate this, and I say Windows 2, right? So I'm opening window one here, and I'm going to open window 2 here. So here, window name is Win2. And here is Win1. Win2, Win1, 2, 1. So now, if I have another script here, so here I'm in window 1. If I have a script that says go to window, window, I don't remember, select window, and you say Win2, boom. You can go from one car style window to the other one, right? So you don't see the window name, right? But you have another advantage, and the advantage is this. Let's say you have you have the same dialogue, the same layout, and but you want to name the layout differently. So this is super advanced. I want to answer the question because I think the question is interesting. So I have one dialogue here, right? The dialogue is one dialogue, and I can reuse the dialogue for multiple purposes. So, and I want to name the dialogue, So you go there and you have, the inserts. You can insert things, but you can merge, you can insert other symbol, and you can insert the window name. So that being said, you can put this 17, right? So now you like this. So you have one dialogue, and you have one dialogue doing this. So let's run this one here. Is Win1, and here is Win2. So you have the possibility to customize the name of the window just by naming the window in your scripts and in your layouts, and you don't have to spare, and you can spare your energy in a variable and whatever, right? So you use all what is in your disposal. So you saw that you have a merge code for the window name. You know that you can even calculate the window name if you want. Window name can be a calculation, right? So you can even name the window, which what I do most of the time based on the get script parameter. So depending on what the parameter is, the name of my window will be different, right? So you can have one unique window, one unique dialogue, and you name, and you can say go to window, and you can say, or you can have a script like this, say, okay, if get window name equal win1, right? Do this, right? Or whatever, right? So it's so you can based on the name of the window, right? You understand? So it's so pretty much you have all the advantage of any window name available or for all the window, and even you can even display the name of the window, and you can even go to the window from one script to another. So that means if you have this situation and you need to activate, and you say, for example, you have the window list, right? So you have window list here, window lists, window names of this file, window names. So that all the window open. So I Win1, Win2, they're all open. So if I can say something like this, if pattern count, for example, pattern count in my window length, in all my window open. I have win1, for example. Okay? If go to select window, and go window1. That means you want to force somebody. If the window is open, you need to answer that. So let's say I want to run that script here, right? I run that script, and I want if I'm there, and if this is not, if I have this configuration, that means I want to force the guy to answer that. So you can do this, and you go there and say, boom, if win1, go, win1, okay, win. Stupid me. Okay, so I can run this. So if I'm on window 2 and my script, yes, here, run this, I can go and boom, go to 1 and answer that. And I can force the people until it's open, until it's there, right? So, so now let's say window 1 is not there. Let's say it's closed. Then this won't do anything, right? Because the window's not there, right? So it goes, say if window pattern count window name win1 is not there, boom, I go away. I leave alone. But if it's not, if it's there, right? If it's open, right? Win1. If I go there and I said, oh, okay, I want to do this. So, bam, it is. It says select and close, right? So I hope I've answered that. Do we have any questions? If you don't, we can land the plane.
We have one last follow-up question. In this case, why don't we use 2 different scripts with the go to the 2 different layouts?
Why you want to do that? 2 script, more trouble, more headaches. I don't know. I'm just demonstrating what you can do. It's just why you want to script? Don't understand. Why you want to script? I want the benefit of this is to when you use those techniques is to avoid to have if this there, if those this, it's to have something like more. You have one dialogue. You can customize the dialogue on the fly with the name. And you can have different action on the button here. You can show button, hide a button. For example, other. I try to. It's we just play here, right? I can say here if gets window name equal win1, for example. No, I can just say this. If get window name equal 1, hide. So this button here, if it's window 1 is hide. If it's Windows 2, no. So now I can do this. I said no. So I changed the meaning of this, right? And I said this, Windows 2. So now I have 2 buttons. Window 1, Window 2 is say yes. Window 1 he said no. Just based on the name. Just based because I use this and because I use one script and because I use what the script step offer me to put a window name. So no, variable, whatever, global field or whatever, or whatever, you can prepare your stuff, So when you use these tools, you need to. It's like, I'll show you what a screwdriver is doing. A screwdriver, you can, screw and unscrew, can do and undo a screw. You can, make a hole in a wall and you can kill somebody. So yeah, I mean, you can. I show you a screwdriver, right? So but it's cool. It shows you advanced techniques which are extremely, extremely, extremely simple. What I use what FileMaker this exists in FileMaker since day one, right? Since FileMaker Mashoba, before Claris 1.0. And this too, naming the window, since they have the new window script step, it exists. So just because you change the name of the window, you can, and on the CARSTAR window, it's huge, the advantage you can take on this. You can change the appearance, you can change whatever, the button returns. It's because you can have a button here and then you say, look. After that, I stop because I need to go. But I want to play a little bit. I want to play. I want to build a script here and say, okay, if, for example, get script parameters equal win one, dialog, open dialog, show dialog, show dialog. Yes, hello, how are you? Okay, so this is what you get. And when you answer this, you close the window. Else if, this returns 2. You have another dialog. Where are you going? Okay. So I have 2 different answers, right? I don't do anything. I'm changing the script here. So those 2 buttons here, those 2 buttons goes to the same script. They use the same script. So I have one script, right? One script. And just because I changed the window name, look what I can do. Okay. So I don't even have to close the window. This open dialog saying, maybe I need to, I don't know. Okay, did I do it? Oh, sorry, I forgot this. I need to put the script parameter here. So I need to do get. This is what I want to show you. So I have the get window name here and the get window name. So the buttons are the same. They are the same. They do the same scripts. They're all, so I could have done this. I could have built one, duplicate, change this in no. Okay, and change this, no, and change this. That's it. And it works because the script the same, the parameters the same, everything the same. I don't personalize this. I want the window name. I want everything consistent. So now I open in this window, I'm opening this one, window 1 here, and I'm opening window 2 here. Okay, so here our window 1 and window 2. Okay, so we have 2 behavior. Window 1, let's go window 1. Window 1, he said no, how are you? Okay, and window 2, he said, where are you going? So I didn't do anything. So graphically, okay, so this is what the demonstration. It's a UI UX design, right? So here I have one freaking dialog. I can change the name of the dialog. I can, change the purpose, change the behavior, change the appearance of buttons, just with one script and one dialog. So if you want to do 15 script, 200 dialogues, it's up to you. But I want to educate you, say, okay, we have one dialog, we have one layout, right? And you can change the behavior, just because you change the name of the window. Right. So can you imagine it's a 30 minutes discussion about just changing the name of the window. So you can imagine the impact that has, and it's built in FileMaker, so you don't have to global variable, all this BS, and you don't have any problem of refreshing. Do I use refresh window? Do I use refresh dialog? Do I refresh object? No, you don't need, because this is built in FileMaker, built in. The get window name, this is built in. If you put this, look the advantage. If you put this here, window name like this, like a variable, you need a refresh. You need to refresh the window. It's a pity, huh? But because we don't use this, and because we use a built-in function, we don't need a refresh. That's cool. Need to go. It's time to go. Marge?
It is time to go. Sorry, I was muted and talking. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Nick, for doing this. Seriously.
Have fun. See you tomorrow.
See you all tomorrow, guys.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.